So today I would like to speak about the mechanisms of karma, because sometimes we don't understand who is there to execute certain, who is there to assign karma, or who is going to bring us that supposedly what we deserve. Let's say if we've done something wrong. In terms of human interaction, it is always our own resentment, our own feeling of unfairness that unleashes that sort of negative, you may say, experience for other people. Because if we look at other people's lives, let's say when they wrong someone, when they hurt someone, if you look at their life, then you can see that after that hurtful event, after they've done something wrong, they come, or you come to know that all of a sudden their fortune is gone. They start having issues, difficulties. So, and when you observe everyone's life, you come to the conclusion that in this day and age, whatever we experience is but the result of this sort of karmic payback. So whatever we experience is just karma. It's not what we're supposed to have, but we are having it because we have to kind of make things fair. Because in this world, everything is fair, everything is right. And so we don't know what we have done in the past or what we did in our past life. So whatever is happening in this day and age is the reflection of that karmic residue. Whoever we wronged, whatever we've done wrong. And again, this wrong is not decided by our human morale. It's not decided by those people, but it's kind of like decided by the natural conscious response of those people you wronged, by their, resentment that they hold towards the situation or you. And even though they might have changed their bodies, they're in a new body, having a new life, that impression, that, energetic impact is still there. And so their soul may carry it and your soul may carry it. That's what's called karmic connection. Very often in this life, we encounter the same people or similar situations, which allow us also an opportunity to invoke these emotional impressions. Somewhat we are stimulated as if from the outside. But the purpose is to invoke this emotional, whatever mental karmic residue, so that we can observe it again, so we can maybe make different choices. If we wronged someone, if we attacked them, if we hurt them, if we cheated them or did something that caused them pain and suffering, that pain and suffering, like when they were suffering, when they were feeling hurt, their consciousness as if kind of created a verdict for you, or and their consciousness judged you that you've done wrong. And so because that at that moment their consciousness was in pain, in resentment, it started having a karmic impact on your life if you wronged them, if you hurt them, so that this energy is balanced. And that's why we can't say that something is unfair, things are not happening in the right way. We cannot track them in time. Whatever we have is energetically correct because we are carrying that residue within us. We are very limited because we have no memory of the past lives, incarnations. But our current incarnation is like a replica, is like that sort of miniature of that past experience. And whatever impressed is the karmic residue. And that's why it's so important not to judge and let go and forgive in this life, because whoever wronged you and hurt you or attacked you or did something wrong, cheated, you have to understand that as long as you carry that resentment, they are under your karmic wrath. They're under your karmic sort of shadow. because you're a part of the collective consciousness and they're a part of the collective consciousness. But you're bound through the act of, hurtful act, of the act of unfairness, let's say. And so you send that frequency, you send that vibration to the collective, where you can see that the collective consciousness simply wants to always balance itself out. So if you send a certain information into it, you will get a response. And so this is kind of the law of balance. So whenever we experience something wrong in our lives, or someone wronged us or did something wrong, we should be sure that our own consciousness should clear itself up from that residue. Because if we carry it, we assign them karma, we resent them, it means we still send them negative waves. We don't wish them well subconsciously. And that means subconsciously that on the collective level, their path is blocked, that they are not going to enjoy their lives, but yet you both remain entangled. You both remain in bondage. And so it's very important when you're on the spiritual path to look through all your connections, through all the situations of the past, and part with that emotional and mental residue of those situations, to stop blaming those people and understand that they're ignorant and they think they make choices by free will. But in the majority of people are ignorant of the fact that their free will remains in the karmic bondage. They think they're making decisions out of free will, but they are actually making most of their decisions out of the karmic impulse rather than the free will. But their free will is in kind of wrapped up in that karmic residue. So they cannot understand what is their true destiny, true soul calling, because the karmic impulse is much stronger, is perceived stronger because it has that emotional residue. So most of the people remain in bondage because they have no clarity about this. They have confusion. They're confused in life. And when they're confused in life, their life becomes complicated. They tangle with more and more people. They, don't understand what's right and wrong. They lack discernment. You should not even try to learn anything spiritually if you haven't gained discernment and clarity about your own life. If you're karmically entangled, if you're emotionally disturbed, if you carry that baggage of resentment, you can't forgive people. Forgive meaning letting go. Sometimes it's fine because your inability to forgive serves a purpose for them to receive karma, to receive that karmic kind of an impact which they maybe don't want to receive, but it is but natural because everything in this reality tries to balance out. And if someone truly wronged you, you should just let go for your own peace, for the sake of your own balance and health. If you can, if you can't, you just have to work on that letting go and try to heal so that you can let go of thoughts and emotions connected to this situation, and in general kind of neutralize your perspective about these people so that these people can also be released from the bondage of your karmic wrath or your kind of a verdict, karmic verdict that you brought up upon them within your consciousness. So the majority of people remain under the wrath of people they entangle with because everyone feels like a victim. Everyone emanates these negative low frequency vibrations like anger, envy, jealousy, comparison, and so everyone remains in bondage. What goes around comes around is very appropriate here, because even if we don't say, even if we don't, want to do anything physically, meaning anything wrong physically, but we think negatively, we envy, we compare, we are kind of, we smile maybe in the face or to the face of this faces of these people, but internally in our heart we don't wish them well. So because you emanate that energy, that will come back to you, because their consciousness perceives your negative transmission, even if verbally you express yourself politely and nicely. But your heart is emanating, it's pulsating, it's vibrating that negative low frequency. And so they start feeling kind of low energy around you, or they feel negative vibrations from your consciousness because you judge them. That's why it's so important that you free yourself from the judgment by focusing within and understanding your own importance and essence, instead of just continuously comparing yourself, envying, being jealous, and restore your own well-being and just live like that. Then you will kind of start building your life on a different foundation. You will start seeing your life path, your soul calling clearer. As long as you're in the bondage of other people's thoughts and emotions, you're constantly ping-ponging these negative emotions and vibrations, you are staying in the wrath of each other, because you judge, you don't wish well. And so it comes back to you one way or the other. That's why everyone's lives and destinies are so distorted. They are under the cloud of this karmic wrath. A lot of people, or more and more people, start suffering mental health issues. And again, a lot of mental health issues are related to energetic attacks, spiritual attacks, people not wishing other people well and constantly judging them, constantly comparing, constantly wondering if why they are successful, why they're more successful than me, why things are happening for them and not happening for these thoughts, conscious, unconscious. These kind of vibrations attract misery to you, but also tangle you with others and also create impediments on their paths, because they are not protected by their higher consciousness, because their consciousness is dispersed in the projected reality. So everyone is codependent on everyone, and everyone becomes karma or karmic payback for the other. So in a way, we're living in this karmic pool of negativity and low vibrations because we contribute to it. Each and every person harbors these vibrations within, supports these vibrations within, allows these vibrations into their space, and thus means participating in this collective dance of lower frequencies in the collective, or lower type of energies. And these energies, they are short-lived, so they constantly are in need of our support. So we are constantly disturbed from within by trying to look at other people's destinies, compare their lives with our own. And yet we miss out on the possibility to live our life, our own life, to the fullest. And so one of the main lessons on the spiritual path is to learn to live your own life, to hear, to listen to that soul calling, rather than to live all over the place, dispersed and fragmented within the projected reality, listening to someone else's talks, or comparing yourself to someone else, gossiping, paying attention at the transitory elements of life without really having established oneself on the proper foundation. And that foundation is inner contentment, inner alignment. Because when you're content and aligned, you perceive everything equally. And perceiving everything equally means you do not leave any karmic residue outside of yourself or within yourself. And this is the main point. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed the video.